Go. Yo. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Leroy. Got my guys Trev and Matt here with me. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. Welcome to another episode of Kicking with the Crew. What's up, boys? How y'all doing tonight?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Ready to get back to it, bro. Long freaking summer. I mean, we're still in the middle of summer, but as far as football goes, kind of getting to the season now. So exciting times.
Yeah, fucking weather out here in Washington. It don't feel like summer.
Really?
I know, man. I had a buddy out there who was in the military. He would always say, like, it feels depressing with how much
it's fucking cold, man.
Golly. We're hitting 90s over here in Texas, man. You got to come on back.
Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name? It's been pretty warm out here, but it was 77 degrees, hailing and raining today. So
I'll take the 77. I don't know about
hailing. Bro, sun was out, and I'm pretty sure it was 77 degrees out today.
Well, that's a nice day. I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't want the rain though. I mean, right now it's cool, but when I'm working outside, I don't want no rain. Keep it.
It's not rainy season right now, so it's not rainy season.
All right, got that all shared out. We cannot go on Twitter because we don't have a library. All right. Ooh. But yeah, let's jump into it, boys. So camp has been going all right, I guess we'll see. Defense has been the star of the show. Has been really, really good as far as camp goes. Defense has showed out, really been making some plays, turning the ball over. Justin Wally has been a standout. Charvarius Ward has been pretty good. Kenny Moore's looked great. Haven't got to see Zaire Franklin out there, still dealing with his ankle. Carlisle as well. Some of the one-on-one competitions have been really good between the offensive line and defensive line. Overall has looked really good. I mean, I haven't heard too much from the safety position. So we'll see about how that goes and seeing how that competition gets there. Outside of Cam Bynum, I should say. Cam Bynum has made some plays and stuff like that, and he keeps everybody going and stuff like that. What up, Dave? Appreciate to have you back. We're back on Facebook. If you want to catch us in there, I know you're usually there, so appreciate you for coming in there, Dave. He says 90 at Buffalo. And then what else? Haven't heard too much from Nick Cross. Obviously, the wide receivers, been some pretty good battles going on there between them and the defensive side of the ball. And then, without too much contact, you really don't hear much from the running backs outside. I mean, we can see some speed from Giddens, JT. We already know what he can do. And then our guy Herbert. We brought in off the street, Khalil Herbert, both of those guys have looked fast. So you guys know I've been saying for the past 2 seasons now, I know, Matt, you were kind of going for a little bit, but I've been screaming for a running back with hands, some speed, kind of getting that Nyheim Hines type of version back in our backfield. It's been real good. To see those two, their speed is showing, man. So that's kind of my little breakdown from camp that I've been seeing and stuff like that. I didn't get too much into quarterbacks. Obviously, we'll get there.
Yeah,
I know that's going to be everybody's big thing, but that was kind of my little breakdown from camp and what I've been seeing so far.
Yeah, there was definitely like some, I don't want to call it outrage, but maybe a little too much hype around that one video that got shared around of
the AR
and DJ both had like pretty not great looking throws. But honestly, man, like I feel like this happens every training camp. You don't make too much of it. Like defense is usually going to dominate because one, we brought a lot of guys back in the defense, so it kind of makes sense. But two, like offense is all about timing, chemistry. When you add new pieces in, it's going to look a little bit different. So honestly, I'm not too concerned, man. Those are things that kind of come with time. So I'm not really too worried about the fact that, at least from what we see being shared, who knows what goes on in the rooms, but what we see going on definitely looks like defense is playing really well. But also you consider, bringing in a new defensive coordinator with Lou Anarumo. That's what I want to see. I want to see guys clicking well right off the bat, good chemistry, you know, seemingly organized and everything. So hopefully we just continue to trend upwards there.
Completely agree on that part, Trev. And loving the defensive coordinator. What about
Yeah, I agree about what he said about that throw, man. People have overhyped it extremely. That's one of those throws that I noticed on Twitter. A lot of people are saying that AR needed to work on those type of throws, and I truly don't think those are the type of throws that you actually spend a lot of time working on. You know, rolling out to your non-dominant side and throwing that ball.
Yeah,
That's not something you even want to do. That's like an emergency escape route type situation. That's not something you essentially practice. You know, so yeah, it was a good throw. But I'm not going to overhype it and say that he perfected it when it was just one time.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about the good throw, right?
Yeah, the one to Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I mean, but see, it's kind of just like give and take there because it's like Trev said with the overthrow. It's like if he overthrows it, everybody goes crazy. If he throws a great ball, everybody goes crazy. So it's always underhype and overreaction one way or another. We get it, or we're going to get that. So the best thing is for people to stop taking camp and shit like that so serious. Like there was a guy I commented on from Twitter that had commented on my page after I said that I heard AR had a good day or whatever because I didn't see it until later on. And he commented on there and said, "Oh yeah, he only threw 4 interceptions." I'm like, why is a Falcons fan paying attention to what Anthony Richardson is doing?
Why are we watching stats for practice in general, bro?
What are we doing here? So
I feel like a lot of people
are always going to overreact.
That's where you want them to throw interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. Like people don't understand too. In practice, a lot of the time you may be training for scenarios. You know, it might be, hey, today we're working on 3rd and 15 with this type of formation, this type of package, so and so, and it might be very advantageous to the defense. So naturally, the quarterback's going to throw a couple picks. Like it's not just scrimmaging out there. You're not just calling plays that are going to work every time. Sometimes you're setting guys up for failure to be like, hey, if we're in this 3rd and long situation, if we're in this whatever, you know, kind of disadvantageous situation, what can we make of it? What kind of plays do we have? So watching a box score for practice and training camp is freaking insane.
And when you throw those interceptions in training camp or at practice, those are the moments where the quarterback steps aside, goes to the coach, says, "Hey, what could I have done there?" That's where you want them to learn. Hey, what did you see?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want you to throw the interceptions. I don't care if you throw 10 interceptions in practice. Just don't throw 10 interceptions in the game.
Yeah. That's where the most learning comes from.
The funny thing about that is the other day, Matt, you were talking about how everybody was overhyping JJ
McCarthy. Yeah.
Just the other day, I want to say it was yesterday, he threw like 4 picks in practice.
Yeah, I said that in the chat.
Oh, now he's a bust, right?
But the only reason I even brought that up was because the same guy was saying that he looked like Mahomes, and I'm like, bro, it's training camp. Let's be real. And then no shit, like the next day he's throwing 4 interceptions, and I'm like, see, this is why you can't overhype people.
You don't,
because they're gonna make their mistakes.
Yeah, just let it ride.
Mahomes though is one of those guys that you just don't hear about the mistakes, but I guarantee he makes them too. Just no one talks about him because they know he's not going to do it at game time.
Throwing backwards behind the back passes in practice, like that's the time where you do the shit like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of
see
it out
if you can do it.
100%.
So, I'm totally with y'all. Completely agree. Jacob Hillenberg saying here, God, I'm so hyped for Giddens. And he also said in here, he said that AR to Tyler Warren chemistry may be legit. Hey, Jacob, are you out there at practice? Let me know. Let me know what you're seeing out there. Drop that in the comments for us.
I love see on Twitter that the AR and Tyler Warren connection has been legit the last couple of days. They've been connected on some shit, yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely have picked it up. I want to say somebody reported that the first day Tyler Warren didn't get much action. And then over the last 2 days, it's been heavy on him. Man, I'm just saying this. I know there's like the whole the speculation, just like what Trev said before with the Jelani Woods of it all, is like, are we going to get him or are we not? You know, we never really get to see him. But if we can get a healthy Jelani Woods and Tyler Warren, I mean, that tight end combination could be legit. Like if we can get Jelani Woods in that Chiefs game, and then Tyler Warren can continue to do what he did in college, man, we could have a legit tight end. We'll go from nothing to legit.
Real quick. And I mean, we've been saying it for the past pretty much since we drafted AR, but dude, quarterbacks like this, especially mobile quarterbacks that more often than not are going to roll out of the pocket, try to make something happen, having that easy option at tight end, it makes a world of difference for them. You see it with Jaden Daniels. You've seen it with guys in the past that have had those tight ends. it just works perfectly. And for us to have not had a tight end, a legit tight end, you know, for basically AR's entire career thus far, it's put him at a disadvantage. And now I think having Tyler Warren, man, it could be real explosive real quick.
For real. Definitely would love to see that. Dave Stewart saying here, D needs to upgrade tackling. I think this is a very good point. Obviously, it'll take some time to see. I did want to say, about the defense, because, I mean, it's tough to say what the tackling will look like or what it'll be. I think Zaire Franklin may struggle with tackling all over again. That's going to piss some people off, me just putting that out there, just because of the fact that he's around the ball so much. Obviously, when you're around the ball, 20 times a game, 30 times a game, if it's one of the top in the league, you're going to miss some tackles. So that's just, the more opportunities, the more chance you have for misses. So that's why his missed tackles were so high anyway. But the fact that he's going to have to miss for a little bit, when you miss, you're going to be a little bit rusty to start out the gate. So, obviously we want to see that defense really good. But I wanted to point out that, just like Trev said earlier, about a lot of the changes that we've had on defense with the defensive coordinator, new players coming in, better players coming in. I would like to say that, I heard a lot of mixes up we've been doing in the defenses, some cover twos, some man tight coverages and stuff like that. It's been night and day difference as far as philosophy goes, and what we're seeing from the defensive coaching than we've had the last probably about 5 years now. And I really, really like to see that.
Getting off that Gus bus, man. Get Lou in here, finally get some real coaching going on.
Gus was out there playing Madden.
Man, and just using the damn coach suggestions.
Running the same damn defense.
His whole defensive plan is just ask Madden every play.
Fuck, dude. Cover 3 cloud. Cover 3.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
No, I'm very excited, especially when you consider guys like Nick Cross, who's good at crashing down, guys like freaking Kenny Moore, who's great at the nickel. It gives us a lot of room to dial up these crazy blitzes that Lou Anarumo loves to work with. So I'm not going to sit here and predict, hey, we're going to be a top 5 defense this year. Let's be realistic with our expectations. I think we're somewhere in the middle of the pack, but that's still an upgrade from what we've had, right? And if it can look better as far as getting pressures, dialing up these blitzes, actually getting after the quarterback consistently, as opposed to just a sack and then leave them alone the rest of the game, it's going to make a world of difference. And it takes a lot of pressure off the offense then.
Hey, to be real, I'll judge our defense based off of how we play Jacksonville. All right.
That's real. That's real. Because it's been the same every year, man.
We don't put no pressure on Trevor Lawrence, man. Make that dude look like a Hall of Famer.
We are the reason he still has a job, bro.
Yeah.
He's been such a disappointment, but he earns his contract against the Colts, man. I tell you what.
Crazy some quarterback jobs.
And then how we play CJ Stroud too, because we put a lot of pressure on that guy and still let up 3rd and 17s.
Hey, we kept damn Ryan Tannehill in business for 3-4 years.
It's like the crazy opposite though, with them two. We put pressure on Stroud, he'll still put up yards. We put no pressure on Lawrence, he'll still he'll just dink and dunk us all day.
Dink and dunk us all day long.
So just do the opposite, and maybe it'll work.
I don't know, man. Because it's tough. Because when we play CJ, it's like I don't know. Sometimes we'll even have sticky coverage, and they still just get us.
He's a great quarterback.
I always thought that the issues we had against Houston was always on the secondary, because we were always getting pressure. They were playing. I'm not saying that it was an issue. More of they were failing at their positions, but they just couldn't hold it as long as they had to, because we were making CJ have to hold that ball, but they just couldn't hold it any longer, and dudes were getting open eventually.
Well, and then there were times too where it's it'd be so I hate to give them credit, but it'd be so damn frustrating, because we would have plays like that crucial one. I can't even remember the guy that caught it now. It's going to piss me. Nico Collins, I believe, had the big catch that kind of sealed the game. Right?
That's a good guess, because that Nico Collins used to torch the shit out of
him. Kills us. But it's we had pretty good coverage. We had good pressure. We did everything right, and they just find a way sometimes. That seems, at least during the CJ Stroud era, that's kind of been our luck against them. But again, new defensive coordinator, dial up some new blitzes, dial up some different packages. It could look very different. So I'm excited for our divisional matchups this year.
Sure. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's just take care of business against Houston. To be honest with you, like Matt said,
we had them on the ropes.
It's like some of the situations where like CJ falls to the ground and we could damn near get a sack, and then he still ends up making the play. I think at this point in time, it's just win your damn matchup. Like at some point, we got to start winning in the secondary, making those plays because like we've been close to beating them like pretty much every single time,
all the time,
and just don't get it done. So
they get away from us. Yeah,
it's like win your matchup, make some plays, create some turnovers, and don't give up. I mean, we hold them to 22. We would literally won all of those games. So, like, I mean, if our defense can improve, like that'd be nice. So
I think too. Like,
I mean,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, those games always come down to the wire
every time.
So 100%. if we made 1 or 2 of those plays,
it makes a world of difference, bro. Yeah, and that kind of goes into what I was gonna say as well. Is like I don't want to get so far ahead, looking at season predictions quite yet, but. Man, you think about if we just pull off 1 or 2 of these divisional games that we just seem to let up because of bullshit like we're talking about, now we're not sitting at 9-8. We're talking about an 11-win team that's in the playoffs. We're talking about jobs are not on the hot seat. Like it really is that thin of a line that's making the difference for this team. So, man, if we can just turn a couple of these things around, start doing better in our division, everything else I believe will kind of fall into place.
Definitely could. Jacob said, yeah, he wasn't there. He was seeing multiple sources. Okay, yeah. So I seen what you saw. What up, Chris? Appreciate you.
What's up, man?
He said, for real, Jacob said it would boost his completion percentage by 10. That was another thing that I pointed out. Somebody said something about a bad throw that AR had threw over the middle and Tyler Warren had to like one hand catch it. And to me personally, it was kind of like AR threw that same thing in a game. And
oh boy, didn't catch it.
What was our tight end's name?
It was
that just left to the Eagles. Granson, Kylan Granson.
Oh yeah.
Make the one hand catch, and it's like, and I seen another comment that was on there. It was like, yeah, receivers get paid too. Sometimes you need to help out your quarterback. Like those are the type of things that I be talking about. Like when our guys throw the receiver the ball. It's not gonna be perfect every time.
Listen, look at all the quarterbacks.
The throw that was made by Joe Burrow, he threw a ball to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had to one-handed fall out of bounds to make the catch. I'm like, bro,
if you go back and you look,
get excited about players because they make plays. So help out your guy.
Look at most of the highlights you actually watch about great plays in the NFL. It ain't perfect passes.
No,
the majority of the time those passes are off. Yeah, and it's a receiver, it's a running back, it's a defender, it's somebody making a play on a bad ball, and you're not going to get a highlight from a quarterback throwing a perfect pass.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real. I mean, the AR one from a couple years ago, that one became a highlight because he slipped. He was standing straight up and just launched it 60-something yards. Like, yeah, that's a highlight. But the majority of the time, standing in the pocket, stepping into your throw, if it's a perfect pass, it's just okay, cool. It is what it is.
Exactly.
But it's football. If it's not a perfect pass, and then you get somebody that makes that play. If Granson would have caught that ball, that play would have been a damn highlight. No one would have even thought about it being a bad ball from AR.
And then we get a first down. We don't have another 3 and out. I mean, it just
right.
That's the point of having playmakers. Like people forget that all the time. And so completely agree, Jay. I'd love to see that because that would help us out a lot. I want to say we've even still had the drop problems in practice, so I'm hoping those can take care.
I mean, it's going to happen at this time of year, but again, like you just kind of wait, and I think we have the personnel.
I'm kind of hoping not though, Trev, just because like we've had it so bad. Like
I hear you.
But I don't know what the difference is because like every time it seems to be a thing with AR. Whenever he's in there, then guys start having the issues with the drop. So I don't know what the hell that's all about.
Just firing the piss.
Last year when Flacco was playing, some guy still drops the balls. Like I really want them to fix it now because during the season, like we got to stop having this problem. The drop.
It kind of reminds me of when we went from what was it? Who was our quarterback the year Andrew Luck got hurt?
Who?
Dan Brissett.
Brissett, that's right. So it was like a difference. It was a difference between Brissett and Luck, and I remember Pittman making a comment about it because he came back and Andrew Luck's ball was 10 times harder than Brissett's.
Just fires it, man. Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes a difference. But then sometimes that's better too, because if a guy's throwing it too soft, he's not going to fit it in the same window that the guy, firing the missile's going to hit. So it's, pick your poison.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't really care for all the like when people comment and say he's throwing the ball too hard or whatever. Catch the fucking ball.
Catch the ball. Yeah.
You get paid millions.
Yeah,
we'll
like,
pay you damn $10 million. Catch the fucking
it's a
ball.
5-yard laser that probably can be calmed down. Like, okay, I get it. But like, if he got to fit it in a tight window, like for example, I brought up the one that went to Drew Ogletree in the Lions game. He runs that comeback up the middle. It's probably about a 10, 12-yard pass, maybe. AR throws off his face mask, and somebody's talking about, oh, he threw the ball too hard. That's why it was a drop. Bro,
he's a quarterback.
Face mask, I don't give a damn if he shot a missile at you, bro. Like, catch the ball.
Yeah,
like, what are we talking about?
Man.
Like,
but that's why we got Tyler Ward in the building, man.
Exactly. So I'm just hoping we fix those drops in practice.
I still too like I know the draft was a while ago. I can't believe this guy fell to the Colts, man. Like we were hoping and praying for what we picked, like 13, 14, right? We picked, kind of mid-teens.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell this guy fell to us, but I'm still taking a victory lap, bro. I can't wait to watch this guy suit up for us.
Yeah, definitely. Chris said that AR's mechanic and footwork has been much more impressive. It's good to hear that. Me and Matt had actually had that conversation as well. We definitely think that, some of the flat-footedness can still be corrected. I've just been happy to see. I mean, obviously we got to see this in game time, but I want to see consistency from it. And then I just don't want him making those crazy cross-body throws.
Yeah.
Times when you get too confident in yourself and you start making crazy throws, that's where he gets in trouble. So I want to see some of that. I want to see more of like that throw that he had to the Michael Pittman Jr. one that we were just talking about, where he's rolling out. Boom, you see him turn his feet, get him set, fire a good throw. I want to see more of that, more consistency.
Well, and this has always kind of been the tape on Richardson, right? Is like he can hit these freak plays that no one else in the league, no one else on the planet can do. He can do crazy shit, athletic shit, all this crazy stuff, but then he misses the layups, bro. He doesn't hit the easy outs. So it's like if he can just, as Chris is saying, the mechanics, the footwork, if he can just get the little things right, it's going to be impossible to stop this guy. But that and injuries obviously has been kind of his biggest roadblock thus far.
Yep, the shooting yourself in the foot.
Just missing the easy ones, man. Missing the layups.
Yeah, Dave was going back to our Houston conversation. Like even with the losses to Houston, we have lost them more than they have beat us, and absolutely, like
agree, 100%.
Down plays. He was letting me know it was Granson. Jacob saying I would gladly go in a game and drop passes.
Yeah, damn right, man.
Contract, you hear me?
You give me 40,000, I'll take a hit.
I would for sure go in there and take a couple of those. Those Goodwin drops that he done had for us, man? So I'd take a couple.
I might have caught that one, the 4th and 1.
Hey, he's had 2 though. Like,
rough. Yeah, I'd do it for about a 10th of what he gets paid, man. Now I'm gonna be in the hospital afterwards because I can't take that kind of hit. I'm 5'8", 170, but I'll do my best.
I'll be
One of them dudes hit me, man. Every bone in my body's probably gonna break. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got that no more, dude. I'm too old for that
shit.
Give
me a 10th of what these guys make. I'll do it. I'll go do it.
Bro, I played basketball for 5 hours and ended up with torn ligaments. Like, that was no contact.
Yeah, you got some mutants out here hitting each other, man.
We're already here. We might as well jump into it a little bit. So as far as the QB competition has been going, it's pretty much been up and down every day for Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. They've both been splitting off of first-team reps. I mean, to be truthfully honest with you guys, it hasn't been terribly great. Been up and down roller coaster. Can't really call it a great QB battle, but Anthony Richardson did finally put a step forward. We had somebody kind of have a little bit of a better day. I believe that was yesterday. That Anthony Richardson had a better of the day of the 2. And as far as speculation goes, most people were saying that this is AR's job to lose as much as it is.
It is 100%.
That Daniel Jones must outplay Anthony Richardson for him to really take that job. So I don't know where everybody in the comments is or on that. And I kind of know how we feel on the show. It would be great for AR to take things over. But none of us would be mad if Daniel Jones absolutely won the job because we want to see the best starting quarterback that can play for us. Because where I'm really feeling, and I know Matt probably agrees, and Trev, I don't want to speak for you, but we'll probably say the same, that if we can get average QB play and have much better defensive play, we would all feel very good about it. So
we're a playoff team. We're a playoff team at that point.
But yeah, so I think as far as that goes, I mean, I think we can see it get better. Hopefully it does. Oh, look, we got the Colts up on the TV right now. Yeah, QB battle has been up and down. Where you guys on that? How you guys feeling about that?
I mean, you're 100% right. It is AR's job to lose. I think right now it is AR's QB1, whether he's taken too much of a step forward or not. I mean, anytime you bring in someone to compete, they're not going to come in and just say he's not the starter. That guy that's coming in for competition, he's got to actually, legit outperform AR to make that happen. So at this point, I do think it's AR. I'm not going to say it's because of the performance of training camp from AR's perspective, but from Daniel Jones, he hasn't outperformed AR at all.
Yeah, it's weird for me, right? Because I think you're absolutely right. It is or should be AR's job to lose. So I would agree. Jones has to outperform him like unequivocally. But then on the flip side, right? And to be clear, I'm pulling for AR here. I want that to be our franchise guy. We used the freaking number 4 overall pick for him, right? But to be clear, like there's a QB battle for a reason, right? Like the guy hasn't stayed healthy, and when he has been healthy, the play has been up and down. So it's like you understand why we're in this position. Now, is Daniel Jones kind of the knight in shining armor to save the franchise? No, I don't think so. But at the same time, there's a case to be made that a lot of his struggles could be attributed to the Giants are a shit show of a franchise, right? I mean, that's fair to say, but partly on him too. So it's just tough for me. It's like both of these guys come with their controversies, come with their inabilities, and then both of them have potentially upside. I think the biggest thing for me is whoever gets the job as the starter, I want them to at least have the security of like a month, like 4 games before we start talking about, if it's up and down still, hey, we need to throw in the other guy, because we're just not going to get anywhere if every week we're talking about, oh, let's start this guy, now let's start this guy. If we're just back and forth all year, it's going to be probably worse than last year. So I'm hoping whoever does end up outperforming and winning that job, and hopefully it's a clear win, they at least have a month of security.
Just because you said that, I wanted you to chime in on this real quick, just because you just said that and brought it up. So I want to get your opinion on it before you stop. So the point that you just brought up about the leash, pretty much on how each quarterback will play, whoever ends up becoming the starter. A lot of what I've been seeing from like reporters or whoever, not just fans on the page and whatnot, but most people would think that whoever was the starter would most likely get a 4-week leash, like pretty much a month to kind of play their game.
That's where I'm at, yeah.
Obviously, if you make mistakes and stuff like that, to be able to play without them having to worry about their job. Now, obviously, if it looks terrible after like 4 weeks or something like that, they'd get pulled. Where do you feel about that as far as them worrying about their job? Because obviously you don't want to play while thinking over your shoulder like, damn, I have to play tight because this guy might take my job.
I want to comment on that. About a decade ago, the Browns did the same thing. They did it with Johnny Manziel and Brian Hoyer. And if you remember, both quarterbacks played god fucking awful.
Yeah.
And I remember commenting about it. I think when we first started the show, we used to talk about stuff like that. And I disagree with putting a leash on any quarterback for 4 weeks or whatever, just to see how they play. If you're going to pick a guy, you need to let that guy know, because mentally that does impact you as a player, because you're sitting there thinking in the back of your mind, if I fuck this up, I'm benched. And then Danny Dimes is going to come in there and he's going to fuck it up too, because I don't believe in that guy as a quarterback at all. But it was that same situation, and that's the prime example is that Browns season with Johnny Manziel and Brian Hoyer. They told Johnny Manziel he was going to start, but they even told him, hey, you're on a leash. And you can't put players like that. Like Johnny Manziel had all that athleticism and all the things that he could do on the field. Yeah, and you put a leash. If you even tell them that's in the back of their mind. Now their confidence is low. Now they're not making the throws they need because they're overthinking it. They're not making the quick decisions, the quick reads. They're overthinking everything. Now they're trying to do too much, and in that sense, they're messing it up.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think what you were saying, DeMarco, as far as if that's kind of the consensus of at least a month of security, unless it's god awful, you're throwing 3-4 picks every game. I think that's about where we need to be. Because at least as far as it's looked thus far, it's like neither guy has really outperformed the other. You have early on people were saying Daniel Jones is coming in there kicking ass, and then it seems like the last week or so Anthony Richardson has been outperforming him. So it's at least to me, it seems like it's kind of back and forth. But either way, like I think you need to give that guy some security and say, hey, we want you to play your style of ball. We're putting the ball in your hands for a reason. Go be a playmaker, and don't worry about everything else, right? Because if you have two QBs, you have no QBs. So whoever is the starter, he needs to have that mentality that he's the guy.
What fans really have to remember too is you're not really going to see either one of them take a step apart from each other until preseason. Training camp isn't really the way. I mean, you don't see the mental reps or the meeting rooms that the coaches see. You don't see the things behind, off the field when people aren't taking video clips of random plays and then sharing different angles of that same said play. So you're not going to see those things until preseason when they get to go face a defense that they haven't seen, how they prepare, things like that. That stuff is more important.
Now, I do want to add too, just while we're on the QBs, one thing I really like about this room as a whole is that this is the first time, at least in my memory, that the entire quarterback room has been kind of the same archetype of quarterback, right? Every single one of these guys is athletic. You could argue they're all a dual threat quarterback, all the way down through Riley Leonard and Jason Bean, right? Like those are very athletic guys who are mobile, able to move around. Years past, if Anthony Richardson goes down, we're switching to freaking Joe Flacco, which hell of an arm, but come on now, the guy's 42. He can't run. Before that, Gardner Minshew, he's going to scramble around trying to make a highlight tape and get sacked, So this is the first time, at least in AR's career, that like the entire quarterback room has kind of had the same archetype. And I think that does well for the rest of the team because whoever is in at quarterback, it shouldn't change the overall system, right? Like you can still, the play calls can be the same, the scheme can be the same. Overall, the offense is called in the same way, regardless of who's quarterback, except for obviously Richardson's got a bigger arm than anybody on the team. But you can kind of still go in the same way. You have to make those super big adjustments going from Richardson to Joe Flacco. Like that pissed me off last year.
I think that's another good point that you brought up there as far as the offense goes, with the big play type stuff. I remember, was it somebody had asked Anthony Richardson why he hasn't been throwing much of the deep ball stuff, and his answer is that he wanted to perfect the intermediate in the short game. He wanted to work on that stuff more. Good. He said, "I already know that I can throw the deep ball. That's not something that I'm looking to really try and work on. We know we can get that down. I wanted to work on that intermediate stuff." So perfect example of that, Trev, is something that we really need to work on. And I also wanted to take it back to something that Matt said about the quarterback competition. And you gave a really good point there, Matt, because I think that's something detrimental to Daniel.
Oh, where'd you go? Is it me?
We lost him.
He froze.
I think it's him.
Oh, no.
He was about to make a good point. I can feel
it. He was. Man, he had my attention.
Hey, somebody get a screenshot of that frozen face, though. That's hilarious. Well, while we wait for DeMarco to get back, I can't speak for him, but I think he was going to talk a little bit about Richardson just kind of working more on those intermediate throws, kind of perfecting his game there. Because like as he was saying, we've seen him hit these deep throws, right? We saw Alec Pierce have a great year last year, almost completely off of deep balls, right? So if he can just get this intermediate shit down, the kind of outside of the numbers, in the middle of the field, like just the little things, we have the layups, the easy throws. I think Tyler Warren plays a big role of that. You're seeing a way better completion percentage, a way more efficient offense. Like everything will be a lot smoother in that case.
Yeah, I mean, and then those deeper plays, they'll come easier because now they got to respect those intermediate throws and those shorter throws. The defense doesn't just step back and rely on AR's ability to throw it deep.
It opens up everything, man. It opens up the entire offense. And then you add in too, like Jonathan Taylor, like the run game that we have with this day, which we haven't even really touched on yet, man. Like looking through our running back room, that's really solid too. We got Jonathan Taylor, obviously a dog, adding Khalil Herbert, kind of that Nyheim Hines type. But also like, in my opinion, what he did with the Bears, more impressive on the ground than I think we ever really saw from Hines. Like strictly rushing the ball. Hines was great receiving out of that running back room, but I just have PTSD of watching Frank Reich send Hines up the middle for no gain.
Like on fourth and one. Yeah. On fourth and one, we use Nyheim Hines.
All the fucking time. And then DJ Giddens, man, I've been high on this guy since I watched him play for Kansas State. Like, I'm so glad. Another one, I'm taking my little victory lap that we got him in the Colts room, man, because I think that kind of three-headed monster there, it gives us so much to work with in the rushing attack, man. And then you have Tyler Goodson, which he's there. There's no telling if he's going to be there by the time we make preseason cuts. I haven't been super impressed with Tyler Goodson personally. I don't mean to disrespect the guy, but he's had some pretty significant drops for us.
He's had his moments.
Yeah,
definitely had his moments.
Yeah, I mean, there was a game or two, where you look at Tyler Goodson. Oh, did we get DeMarco back? Still buffering.
He's buffering.
We'll throw it back to him for him to finish his point when he gets back. But I mean, Tyler Goodson, as you said, he's had his moments. I want to say like a year or two ago, he had a couple games where it looked like he might be a decent backup. Hey, DeMarco's back with us now, man. You were in the middle of making a point about AR and we lost you, brother.
Oh, he went to his phone.
Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Still be having
He's muted.
Some technical difficulties.
Let's see if I can unmute him. His mic's not on.
Hey, bear with us, folks. We're an unpaid show.
Hey, you got to connect a mic, man.
But
whoa.
Oh, we got all kinds of shit going on now.
Yeah, we didn't want
craziness,
all that, man.
Hey, we're in our training camp too, fellas. We're in our preseason. We're
getting all the kinks broken out, all right?
Yeah. We are Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones right now, all right?
Yeah.
Only difference is we're not making a fraction of what those guys are. Jacob's comments here. He says, I mean, AR is 8-7 as a starter with a dookie defense. True. I'm not saying he doesn't need to get better, but the objective here is to win games. Yeah, so it comes down to who's going to be better for that system, right? Who's going to more effectively do that for us? You hope it's Richardson. You want it to be Richardson just because of the stock we've put into this guy. But if it's not there, it's not there, man. If you have to move on to Jones, you got to make that call. That's kind of where I'm at with the QB battle. It's like, regardless of the years past, regardless of Jones' history with the Giants, regardless of Richardson's injury history, whoever is the better guy right now, put the ball in their hands and let's commit to it. Like that's just where I'm at, man, because we have to be able to win.
Yeah, just whoever you pick, you just gotta let it be, man. We can't do the whole,
back and forth.
AR struggling through week 5 or week 6. Let's start Danny Dimes, then Danny Dimes struggles a couple games, and then AR goes back in. We can't do that anymore, man. It's if you're gonna name AR the week 1 starter, he needs to stay the starter. It's just as simple as that. Yeah, because even if we're losing, he's still getting those reps that he needs that he's missed from injuries.
Well, and that's the weird part too, is because like. And I go back and forth on this personally, right? Is like Anthony Richardson going into his 3rd season now. So my immediate reaction is 3 seasons in, you should be able, as an NFL quarterback, selected 4th overall, you should be able to run the offense, point blank, period. But then my caveat to myself, playing devil's advocate for the guy, is he's been injured so damn much. It's like, how much do you really miss out? You're missing out on team reps. You're missing out on that mental work because you're somewhere else rehabbing. Like, it's so much he has missed out on, so you kind of give it a little bit of grace. But man, it's rough. It's rough to really make a call there. Like 3 years in, we gotta have something where we can confidently say this is our guy. We're still not there. That's the most frustrating part.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with D, man. He's in here twice. He's on his phone and his computer, and
his stream is about as frustrating as Richardson's career right now.
Yeah, for real.
Just up and down, man.
Zach says AR is going to win the job, but the moment he struggles, Shane's going to put Danny in, and he's going to be the guy the rest of the way simply because Shane doesn't want to lose.
That's a factor too.
Yeah, but I still don't agree with doing that. I mean, we've already just said it. That goes right back to the back and forth. Zach then says, I think whomever wins this job until the midway point, if they continue to struggle, the team will make the switch. Then he says 2 QB system. Yeah, I don't like
it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. If you got 2, you got none.
Yeah,
but I agree with everything else he said, man. It's like the reality of it is we know Chris Ballard's on a hot seat. He kind of has been for a while now, although that's a separate discussion in itself. I believe he had a great offseason compared to his last couple years, this past one. Do we have you back, DeMarco?
I think we do.
Oh, there he is.
Got you back.
I don't know what's going on with my phone internet, but we had a power outage. All my shit just went out. So.
Oh my goodness. I said your stream was about as up and down as Richardson's career, man. You were fighting for it though. I'll tell you what.
Hey, yeah, you didn't tap the helmet.
Yeah.
I couldn't tap out. I couldn't have that
fight, bro.
tap out.
That's hilarious, man.
Nah, I can't remember any of my train of thought of what I was saying, but
You were about to make a point too.
Yeah,
and
you're
then
about to cook.
it
I
was
just know it. I just
it
know
was a
it.
damn good. Oh, it was about Daniel Jones. So yeah, it was basically just like because we seen the way his career has went in New York, and it was one of those situations where it was like, well, you know, his play has been up and down. If you put somebody over his shoulder, then you also got a team and a coach on his back. You're gonna make the whole locker room hate a guy who's already been down. He'd
Yeah.
be thinking, "Wow, I just made the worst mistake in my career.
Here we go again.
Indianapolis. Look how they handled Anthony Richardson. I should have known I shouldn't have come here." Like you basically would just set up that whole room for failure to sit there and think that you can have those QBs on a short leash and play them like that. So, yeah, man, that was the gist of my whole point there. I don't know how many of the comments you guys got to, but I wanted to chime in on what Jacob had said because it was basically about AR won 8-7 games as a starter.
Yeah.
And that was actually the point that pretty much all of us had said. Me and Matt kept going back and forth talking about that, saying like we don't need anybody to be great. As good as this roster should be, you know, we've actually Ballard made some additions and stuff like that. So I just thought that it was something that could be good for us if we actually make that move.
DeMarco just turned into a damn robot.
No, I was trying to make sure I had something up just in case an outage happened again. Have it ready just in case. That's the second time today. But basically, just thinking that if this defense can be good, then we wouldn't have necessarily that same problem we've been dealing with in the past years. And this goes point blank to it, even with AR having a winning record as a starting QB with 49 completion percentage that everybody likes to point out, the drops that we've had from receivers, and a defense that gives up over, I want to say about 25, 26 points per game. So, I mean, like, come on, man.
Yeah. I think it's kind of telling, too, when, like, we have multiple guys who are, quote-unquote, on the hot seat, you know, the past season or two. But when all was said and done, Gus Bradley was the only guy fired, right? Now, was he a scapegoat? You could make that argument, but realistically, I think it's very possible that he's the main guy that wasn't doing his job, right? So now if you bring in Lou Anarumo, the defense starts popping off again, and then all of a sudden we're looking at this roster going, hey, Chris Ballard's done a decent job. We're looking at the results and we're going, hey, Shane Steichen, he's doing pretty good. Like, it makes a world of difference if your defense can just be average, man. We've said that for the last couple years, you know, always hoping Gus Bradley could figure it the hell out. But
yeah,
you know,
man. If anybody think Gus Bradley is a scapegoat, they can go to Guantanamo Bay with him.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear none of that.
You can join him on his next team where he's going to call Cover 3 Cloud every down.
Ain't no way.
I like one of the things you said about sorry, go ahead.
Did you go ahead, Trev? I was just saying, did you guys get to Zach's comment in there?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we did.
I wanted to talk too about what you said about Daniel Jones, man. One of the things I have not liked, and a little bit that I've seen from the fan base, is just like open Daniel Jones like disrespect. And I know this guy's career was what it was at the Giants, but at the end of the day, like he chose to come sign with this team. He chose to come try to help this team. You know, like give the guy a chance for God's sake, man. Like he didn't do anything wrong, you know. His career just kind of went up in flames at New York, but by all accounts, he's a good dude. He's smart. He's helpful in the room. So hopefully the fan base is kind of a little more welcoming to him in person than at least what I've seen online. There's no reason to disrespect the guy, man. He signed with us trying to compete. That's all.
There's no reason to hope for the guy to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he wins this job, which again, we're all pulling for Richardson here because of the stock we put into him. But if he wins this job and goes on to win freaking 11 games and bring us to the playoffs, like that changes the tune about Daniel Jones, does it not? Like if he I know where it's a stretch here, but say he plays well, he throws 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, wins 11 games, the narrative is completely different, you know, and that's a far possibility, but it is a possibility.
Prime example. I mean, look at was it JJ McCarthy, right? Over in Minnesota. You had Sam Darnold step in last year. They won 11 games, went to the playoffs.
No one believed in Sam Darnold.
And then 14
games, yeah.
14 games, yeah. And then they released him.
Yeah.
Then they released him.
They let him walk. You let him walk.
Yeah.
He went for more money. But yeah, I mean that's the same thing that I was saying, Trev. I remember what was it? So basically, anytime the admins would post Anthony Richardson and then post Daniel. I sent it to you guys. That was the whole conversation about it, and I was just like, look, I personally, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be good. Like even when Trev said 25 touchdowns and 8 picks,
no, it's a stretch. I know it's a stretch.
Cross my hat off. I was thinking he'd be more like 18 touchdowns, 7
But
picks.
I'm just saying,
like
right? I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, so my thing is, like, once somebody puts on the uniform, there's no reason to root for them to do bad. Even if he beats out Anthony Richardson, like Trev said, and I don't even want to say there's a lot of stock in it because it could be just like with Juju Brents and Jelani Woods. They've been just as up and down and injured as Anthony Richardson, and most people are out on those guys. And so I think it's more so the fact that we spent the 4th overall pick. Like, this is a top 5 pick on the guy. So we pretty much need him to work so we can get out of goddamn purgatory, like either suck or don't. Yeah. And it's like, that's where the Colts are. Like, we're not bad enough to be a top 5 pick again. And if that happened, then obviously we're in a full-blown rebuild. And then we haven't been good enough to make the damn playoffs. So it's like, I want to see improvement. And if that comes from Danny Dimes, I mean, then so be it. Like, we should just accept it. There's no reason to sit there and hate. Now, if you want one guy to succeed more than the other, by all means, you can have your pick. But don't sit there and root on a guy or hate on a guy every single day just because he's going out there.
He's part of the team now,
This guy's putting on a uniform and can go out there and get hurt for your fandom. And obviously, yes, they're making money. They get paid. But you're still a fan of the team. You don't have to hate on a player just because they play for your team. Like, I just think that's ridiculous.
I do think too, like, even if Richardson wins this job, which I believe he will, even if that's the case, I think Daniel Jones, solid backup, especially as we talked about earlier with the mobility, the athleticism. Like,
definitely,
I take it. I take it all the way. I'm 100% pulling for Richardson to win this job and improve upon things. But yeah, worst case scenario for Jones, if he's a backup, that's a backup I'm comfortable with going into the game. If God forbid something happens, I could live with that.
Yeah, we've never seen AR play more than 7 games in a season, so we should absolutely love the fact that we can have a backup that we can go to and then not be like, holy crap,
it's
playing
not a completely different game
with a 3rd stringer or something like that. You know what I mean? And then when you're fighting over Jason Bean. But yet, Dave was saying here he was glad to see that Nyheim Hines was able to get back from that injury. He signed with the LA Chargers, I want to say a few days ago.
Congrats, man. Hell yeah.
And then Jacob was saying here, I still do think Steichen loves those deep plays. You got AP and AD. Jones couldn't do it, which is why I still believe AR is the guy. If he could just get marginally better on the short passes.
Yeah, but that's why me and Trev were talking about AR saying that he wanted to work on those intermediate and shorter throws. That's why he's not been throwing a lot of those deep passes, because he knows that he can already do it. So and I agree with him doing it that way, because it's just going to open up those deep passes even more. It's going to make them easier for him to make, not have to fit them in such tight windows, because defenses are going to have to respect it.
Completely agree. Yeah, my thing is I do think Steichen still loves the deep ball as well, just because he believes in explosive plays when he runs the league. And it's funny too, I'm going to get to that comment in a second. It's a little side thing because Twitter just the internet itself just irks me sometimes. Just like you said, Matt, I took a break as well. I haven't been on it as much, but sometimes you get on there, you're just like, what the fuck do you guys be thinking? Go touch some grass sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I've been on that shit for a week, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, why'd I do this?
Explosive plays just run the league. So obviously, yes, he wants to see those, but it was more so about him learning that he doesn't have to go deep all the time. When we got a 3rd and 1, a 3rd and 2, you don't need to throw a 27-yard in a dig, whatever it is, to try and make a big play. You don't need to throw the deep ball. It's just knowing that the check down can save your life sometimes and make you look like a superhero. Because that's one of the big things that for some reason people will salute if it's a certain quarterback, and then they'll hate on if it's another quarterback. It's like if you throw too many check downs, oh, you're a check down Charlie. If you're
game manager.
Oh, he can only do this, So I just think it's one of those things where he's working on his all-around game. So I think, yes, Steichen does still love that. I think regardless of the quarterback, he's going to push that. Jacob also added in there, I certainly don't hate him as a person. My biggest fear is that we win 8, 9, 10 games with him. It's just enough for Ballard to extend him as the starter, and we're still in purgatory. which you're not wrong there at all. I think Ballard wins 8, 9, 10 games again with these two guys at quarterback. I think the people were going to crown him as a hero because of what he was dealing with that quarterback still. And I mean, like, yeah, some people could probably put him on the hot seat, but it'd still be like, well, look what he's been dealing with. It'll always be some kind of excuse when you get to that 8, 10 level, 10 level, especially if you look at the AFC. The AFC is just loaded, man. The AFC is just loaded, so people are going to give it to that. What I was going to say was that somebody was being a hater just because they were like, what was it? AR threw a pass. Somebody shared something, and somebody was like, those type of plays don't win games, and it was the deep ball or whatever. And I just laughed.
Sure they do.
Like, why get on the internet and lie to people? Like, you just hating on Anthony Richardson. There's no way you don't tell me that the deep ball doesn't win you games.
You not remember the deep ball to fucking Reggie Wayne in the Super Bowl?
I mean, like
there's probably an hour-long compilation of deep balls.
Do you not remember Washington's fucking Hail Mary last year?
It's hilarious the hate that people will come up with, bro. Like, I was like, it was the game versus Houston, and AP catches the deep ball for a touchdown, whatever. They retweeted that one. I'm like, dude, did we not lose Week 17 to the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud because of the 75-yard bomb to Nico Collins? Was that not?
Oh, but they don't win games. Yeah, all right, bro.
They don't win games.
So
why did they forget why Aaron Rodgers was MVP so many times?
Yeah, come on. Kyler Murray's only career highlight is a game-winning Hail Mary. Like,
no, for real.
There's so many you could go. The deep ball, absolutely. I mean, that's just an asinine comment, dude. What are we talking about?
I mean, damn, Drew Brees probably threw the most perfect deep ball ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to do it on the regular.
So much so that in his last 2 or 3 years where he kind of lost his arm strength and he was still throwing 30 touchdowns, people acted like he fell off because he wasn't throwing 70-yard bombs anymore. Like, that's another conversation.
I just think it's hilarious that people will hate somebody, whether it be AR or Daniel Jones, and they'll just go on the internet and make up some type of hate that just
bullshit, man. Yeah,
just makes no sense to me, dude. I just don't get it. But I'm with you, Jacob, man. I think Ballard has had his time. So obviously, I think I would hate to see him or DJ get extended. But I mean, hey, if he came through and had a Sam Darnold like season, obviously we don't have a Justin Jefferson. I mean, I think A.D. Mitchell can be pretty damn good, but we'll have to see it coming to Wilson.
We do have a Josh Downs though.
We got Josh Downs.
We do have a Josh Downs, and we have a healthy Michael Pittman Jr.
Exactly. So I think we got some weapons. So, if he was to have that type of season, and it'd be the situation with like a Sam Darnold where it was choose to resign him or let him walk or whatever, I'd be pretty hard pressed to be like, why did we let that guy walk with all the QB issues we had, whether Daniel Jones or not? So I can't say I'd be totally mad. I just would rather see it play out, So
I think when we look offensively, for a while, I think we've had pretty good pieces around whoever was playing quarterback. I think we've had multiple quarterbacks come in here and be able to be somewhat successful. Sure, we've had a lot of drops, and a lot of those drops I do want to say were AP when he was younger. After he definitely worked on those.
From Rivers to Wentz though, it was sketchy.
But Rivers won.
Rivers won.
I mean, Rivers was that dude, but I'm just saying.
But I meant like the last couple years, with
I got you.
The roster the last couple years, with Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, and AP as the starting core of the wide receivers, and then you add AD in there who's solid as well. Last year, or hopefully. I don't know if it was last year, but I can't remember. I didn't watch much of last year. But I know he did. Yeah, he did have some issues with missing passes and drop balls. We had issues with tight ends who weren't here to be stars. They were here to be, bodies. And those dudes like Granson, people like that, they weren't meant to be stars. The stars were supposed to be Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox. Those dudes kept going through injuries. So then you got, Kylan Granson in there, and he can't catch a ball.
He had that one good year.
Yeah, but then you get, you talk about the running game, with JT, and now we got Khalil Herbert, like Trev said earlier, is a pretty solid all around back to be a running back too. And then the other two guys are in. Yeah, I'm still trying to get to know some of these names. But now what I'm trying not to get too excited, which I was excited when the reports came out, was how much attention we did provide the secondary, which you guys know I've been screaming for at least 3 years that we needed to go give attention to that secondary. So really, I think whatever quarterback wins, whoever's going to start, I think they have a good supporting cast to be successful.
I agree.
Either one, whether it's Daniel Jones or whether it's AR, I think they have a solid supporting cast. I do think we could go over that 9-win threshold and hit that 10 wins. Again, we do have to take care of business when it comes to the division. But to me, I think offensively, we haven't really struggled in our division. No matter what, I think it was our defense that struggled the most, and we just had to keep up.
I mean, we also, I would say, every single year we win like a game or two that everybody believes we have absolutely no shot in. So if we just stop losing the fucking layup games, dude, we'd also be in pretty damn good position. Because just like last year, what did I tell you, Trev, about the Packers game? I thought there was no way we were beating him if Jordan Love played, because I just thought the way his style was versus our defense.
Should have diced us up.
But as soon as he was out and we were going against Malik Willis, I'm thinking, hey, the Packers is a must win.
That was one of the games I watched. I think that was when I was like, I'm done.
Pieced up, man.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. I'm not watching no more. I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. to watch Colts football anymore.
Man, then we take it to week 16, and we got the New York Giants. Hey, take care of the freaking layups. And then we lose to them. So it's like those 2 games right there, that puts us at 10 wins. I mean, like, it's just things like that we do as a team that is just like, what the hell?
They put 45 on us, bro.
I mean,
45.
And people blame AR for that. Like, it's just,
come on,
wild to me.
The number one thing, and I really like what you were saying as well, Matt. The number one thing our team has struggled with, outside of health, outside of quarterback, consistency, is complementary football, man. Because our offense for the last several years has been feast or famine, meaning we score super quick or we go 3 and out, and it's damn near no in between, right? Other than that one game-winning drive against New England, that's maybe the only time you could say otherwise.
Jets too.
And the Jets, correct. So feast or famine on offense, and then the defense, even when they play well, they get no time to recover. Like, I remember looking it up last year because I got curious about this, because I felt like my eyes could not be tricking me. And watching it, we had the worst time of possession differential or whatever in the league at that time. I don't know if it followed through to the end of the year, but the defense stays on the field, so they stay getting pieced up. Boom, 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 first down, getting walked down the field. Offense goes out and they either score immediately, so the defense is back on the field, or they go 3 and out. So the defense is back on the field.
Yeah, we had that talk not last year, but the year before that, when AR's rookie season.
It's been that way, yeah.
I think that was some of the key points we used to try to defend Gus Bradley that season, and then we went into last season like, hey, you're on the freaking hot seat. But that rookie season with AR, yeah, we couldn't move the ball, and our defense was on the field damn near 80% of the game.
You can't win that way. You just can't.
No, you can't. You can't. You need some kind of consistency on offense. I don't care if you score every drive, but you have to somewhat get at least 1 or 2 first downs, and then make sure that they have to drive the length of the field when you do have to punt it. You can't just start at the 25 and end at the 27.
No, time of possession is one of the most slept on stats that's so important. Like every team, look at the Philadelphia Eagles, man. They win because the other team can't take the freaking field. They have 8-minute drives every time they touch the ball, and then their defense, sack, strip, fumble, interception, whatever, puts their offense right back on the field to run people over. That's winning football.
I still think one of the best Colts games we've watched in recent seasons was still under Frank Reich, and it was the year right after Andrew Luck retired and Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback, and we played the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And Frank Reich made it known, I'm playing keep away ball. That man did not call a game to score fast. He was not trying to put the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands. He was trying to keep the ball with Jacoby Brissett, and I'm pretty sure we ran the ball 30, 40 times that game.
It works, man. Dude, that's the reason. That's the reason Mike Tomlin has had a winning season every freaking year, despite not being that good with the Steelers. Yeah. They always win games because of shit like this. They just control the ball, and that's something we've done a horrible job at. I know Shane Steichen loves explosive plays. I do too. Great. Let's get them, but also we have to know when we need a drive, right? We need to be able to put together a drive when we need one, and at least in the last couple of years, that's been damn near impossible. It's either a big, long shot touchdown or freaking 3 and out again. Like there's just no in between with this offense lately.
I gotta say, I slightly disagree a little bit, and I would just more so put it on back to what you said originally, which was complementary to football. Because just like you said, like with the Eagles, like there would be some times where Saquon would score immediately. They'd be on a 13-play drive or 13-second drive or whatever, but their defense could come back out and still put down and offense. So I think it more so just comes back to us just being complementary, whether it be offense or defense, not giving up a quick score or being able to get somebody off the field. And I just think the last 2 years on defense, we've really struggled doing anything with anybody, let alone having quick drives. Like I think 3 and out, our defense is also being trash. Like I totally get what you guys are saying about, you don't want it to be quick 3 and outs, because obviously if you have, 4 possessions that last a total of 2 minutes in 2 seconds, I mean, that's you're not helping out your defense at all.
Yeah.
By all means, I'm not saying like I don't want to see the big plays, because seeing JT break off, 60-something yard touchdowns, or seeing AP catch 60-something yard touchdowns, those things get fans hyped up, gets the team hyped up.
Wins games.
It also makes the defense think they need to defend you better.
Yeah, but then you got to have those times in the game where you can see that your defense is kind of struggling, and offensively you got to be able to dial it up to where you slow down the game. You have to slow down the game. I mean, if you look across sports, every sport has to do it as well. Basketball, if the game's moving too fast, you don't just go down there and just instantly
control the ball. Yeah.
You control the ball. Hockey does the same thing. Hey, we're moving too fast. Hey, we're gonna control the puck. Baseball is probably the only sport you don't really need to do that in. But it's soccer. Games that move with speed, things like that. Let people rest.
You got to choose your moment. Yeah.
Yes, and I think in the second and third quarter is where we really struggle with this.
100%.
And because we've done fairly well when it comes to fourth quarter, and we have had we're kind of inconsistent in the first quarter, if I'm being real, and we're terrible on first drives. If we get the ball first, we're terrible. If we kick it off first, I usually feel like we do kind of respond, but we're not very good at starting the game hot and being the first team to score. But the second and third quarter is where we need to learn how to draw up those drives, to slow the game down, let our defense catch their breath.
Yeah, my issue isn't with the explosive plays at all, because that's the kind of personnel we have that are capable of doing it. I want to play to those strengths. My issue more so is the fact that, like, when we need a drive, we need to be able to put that together. And I mean, that goes back to Shane Steichen. That goes back to, I mean, it's everyone, right? It's the whole team.
Yeah.
And I do think we'll be better at that this year as well. I think we have improved personnel on both sides of the ball. But overall, that's kind of what I'm getting with the complementary football, and just like when we need a drive, we need to be able to put one together and not just, either feast or famine offense, because it'll help you score 24, but you're not going to win the game.
Your defense lets up a 10, 11 play drive. You don't need to respond if they score. You don't need to respond off of one play.
Yeah, it's like when you're down 13 and then they just get another field goal or whatever, and they've been on the field for freaking, 8-minute drive. And then the next thing you do, you come out, go deep ball, 1 yard run, deep ball, and then give them the ball right back. Like that's unacceptable as an offensive coordinator and play caller. Shane Steichen can't be putting us in those positions. Also, the quarterback got to know, like, look, maybe I don't need to take this deep ball here, even though still, like, let's do something else real quick.
Now it's something that personnel makes a difference too, especially on defense. Like, you're looking at adding guys like Cam Bynum, freaking Javarius Ward. Hopefully, Latu has a much bigger year this year. Even though he had a solid rookie campaign, but just as far as, sacking the quarterback, maybe getting some fumbles, stuff like that. I'm looking at a defense now that I believe should be more capable of forcing turnovers, capable of forcing these 3 and out, stuff that we just didn't get enough of last year. So I think that definitely makes a difference too. Like, it is both sides of the ball, but just being able to control these possessions, man, because I feel like, as you were saying too, Matt, it's like that second and third quarter, like, we just get out of games. And then it seems like, fourth quarter, we get fired up, we'll rally back into it and end up falling short more often than not. Like, it's so just up and down. It's like, if we could be the aggressor, right, and control the game and not just react to everything happening to us, make shit happen for us. Like, I know it's everyone's intention, but like, hopefully that's we have the guys to be able to do it this year.
Yeah, and don't let up. don't let
Yeah.
up either, man. Don't get
We saw that
comfortable
a
in the
lot,
third quarter
man.
being up. Don't get
Yeah.
comfortable in the fourth quarter being up. Just keep trying to be up.
I feel like that happened
And
multiple
don't
times
call
this
some
last year, man.
plays
Every
as
time we had a
football
lead.
So yeah, I kept pulling up Dave's comment here because I wanted to get into another one with you guys, another discussion. So he was talking about Alec Pierce. He said on average has 3 drops per season, which is pretty damn good. But it was bringing me back to some conversation that I was telling you guys in the group chat. But we got some guys that might deserve some money. And Alec Pierce, I think, is one of them. So I wanted to discuss with you guys because I just think this is kind of a smart play. Think about I want to say it's almost 2 years ago now. The Houston Texans surprisingly had paid Nico Collins, and now his deal is kind of looking like a steal.
Yeah,
like he's severely underpaid in the league. I was thinking that the coach should also do the same and pay Alec Pierce now. I mean, I know it might be a little bit early, but looking at him right now and the work that he's been putting in, I remember when he first got drafted, he was like a taller, lanky guy, couldn't really move his hips and get down like he needed to. This guy can actually, he's been putting in work. And I want to say he's
got routes, bro.
Almost 1,000 yards on only 20 to 30 catches. That's insane. If he can put it together as far as the all-around receiver in the short intermediate game and everything along with his deep ball, I mean, we got to pay him early now and just get that out of the way before he commands a huge dollar. That was one. Then there's Bernhard Raimann. I think that's somebody that you got to pay now too. Pay the left tackle early. Look at what the Eagles do. Take this right out of their hands and get these deals done early with these two guys. You really got you lock up that deep threat with Alec Pierce and even him more so developing, and then you lock up Bernie as well. You got your left tackle. Look what we were dealing with before he got there. Lock him up now as well. You get them. Obviously, you got to give up that money now, but it's cheaper in the long run. And then you start seeing other guys get paid. Don't let that price go up. Don't become the Cowboys paying later. Don't become some of these other teams that the price end up jumping about 5-10 million, and then you don't have that money later on to pay somebody else. What you guys thought on those two guys?
Those two guys specifically, I'm with you 100%. Alec Pierce, I think, is one of, if not the most slept on receivers in the league, man. People don't understand just how much this guy has improved from his rookie season. What he did last year, I mean, he's a monster, dude. And he fits so well with this offense, particularly with how we love the explosive play, how we love the deep shots. He's the guy capable of going and getting them, man. And it's not just that he's, sprinting down and getting open. This guy's footwork, man. He's improved tenfold from his rookie season. I feel like Alec Pierce specifically is one that we as a show can kind of take our little victory lap on, because for years we said, hey, just give this guy a chance, man, because fans were loud about Alec Pierce, loud about him not doing enough, this, that, and the other. And I feel like we maintained on this show, Alec Pierce is going to be a guy. Just give him a shot. And last year, he really showed it. And I think this year he'll be even better. And I feel the same way about Bernhard. I don't know how to say his first name, Bernie Raimann. I think we don't want to have a controversy or a question of who's at left tackle, right? And this guy, is he going to be elite? That's up for debate, but he's good enough to start for sure. And he's had some really good games for us. I want to pay that guy now. I don't want to have a question mark at left tackle, the most important position on the offensive line. I want to keep him there long term. So I'm paying both of those guys personally.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. There's not really much I could really say that's any different. I mean, like you said, we could do our victory lap. When everybody was hating on AP after his rookie season, when we had Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and everybody was like, he doesn't do enough. He's never open. But then when you really look at the tape, that man was always open.
You saw it, yeah.
That man
you missed him.
Yeah, that man ran miles. That man ran miles every game down the field, was wide open, and Gardner just couldn't hit those throws. And then he gets quarterbacks that can hit those throws. You start to see it. Now that he is, he did work on those intermediate routes, those quicker routes to improve his game.
Good,
yeah, he's definitely, no, I'm not in any question about that at all.
And you know what's crazy too? As good as he was last year, I believe he finished with almost 900 yards, somewhere in that realm. A very, very good year for a guy who's, wide receiver 2, maybe even 3. I mean, great year for the guy. It's one of those damn smart stats that you don't know if it's real or not, but one of those stats, he was still one of the like most open but not targeted guys in the league, despite having a great year. So it's like you see there's room for even more growth from Alec Pierce. If he ever is in a spot where he's kind of our number one target, you're going to see this guy have a year like freaking Cooper Kupp or something. I don't know if that would be the case just because of how we run the offense. It's kind of more of like pull it out when you need it, go hit that explosive play. But he's open, man. Alec Pierce is damn near always open, and it's just a question of if you can get it to him. Obviously, he's got competition because we have, honestly, a pretty good wide receiver room with Pittman, obviously very consistent every year. And then Josh Downs, who I think is going to be a freaking star, man. And then A.D. Mitchell on the come up, Ashton Doolin always kind of in the mix. You have a solid wide receiver room, but Alec Pierce is that guy, bro. You gotta pay him. You gotta keep him in the building. He fits this offense like a glove, man.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Alec Pierce. Yeah, there's not really much we could say about that. I mean, he's earned it. Pay him.
Pay him. And same with Nico Collins. It's going to look like a steal. 2 years from now, it's going to look like we're underpaying the guy, and there's going to be controversy about, hey, we're not paying him enough, right? But then we'll have to renegotiate or some shit. But I genuinely, strongly believe Alec Pierce is that good. I think you need to pay him like he is, because you let that guy walk and you lose such a weapon downfield. I mean, Michael Pittman. I love Michael Pittman. Pittman's not that guy. He's not making these super deep catches. He's not going those right. He's more, in between the numbers, intermediate routes, catches. He's very good at.
But his run after catch ability is.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely zero disrespect. Like Pittman's the guy. He's wide receiver one.
If you look at our wide receiver core right now, just alone with Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce, to them combined is over 1,600 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I agree pretty easily. I think
that was just last year, with a struggling AR, with Joe Flacco, whatever, and those are the type of stats that they were able to put up. If we could get this offense moving the way I think we can, yeah, this wide receiver core is slept on. How many other teams have 2 wide receivers on the outside that have those type of numbers? And then let's not forget about Josh Downs. Last year, Josh Downs.
Yeah, so that's
over 800 yards.
Over
800 yards. That's three wide receivers over 800 yards.
It's a good room, and look, I know people don't want to hear it. But that's one of those rooms again where you have to look and you guys say, hey, Chris Ballard, you done all right, man. I know it's not a popular take, but he's done well getting these wide receivers in the room, man. Freaking Josh Downs. He's another one that I'm looking at. He had a great year and could still break out. I don't know if you would consider it a breakout because he's already very good, but he could still improve that much. So Zach has a comment here. He says, I don't know, bro. All he does is run deep. I disagree, man. You got to watch that tape.
I think he's being a smart ass.
Yeah, well, that's classic Zach over there working his late shift, man. But no, he does more than that, man. There's a reason he's deep and wide open because.
See, this is exactly why I need Zach to be here on the show so we can argue about this. While we're
the smart ass comments that Zach comes out with.
He's got the footwork, bro. He's got the shiftiness.
No. See, this exact comment is why you pay him early. So look, like I said, see what he's been working on in practice. I'm saying the way he drops his hips, or been dropping his hips, the way he's been able to move. He's starting to turn into a more complete receiver. And yes, we only used him to go deep. So it's just like the Nico Collins thing. When he got paid, I want to say he had like the same type of years Alec Pierce. He had about 800 yards. He was the deep guy. And then boom, he got paid and look what he developed into.
Yeah.
I'm saying this guy, yes, we always use him on the deep ball, but we can't act like that's not important, what he's been able to do. And he's been getting much better. I'm telling you right now, if he starts to complete it more, you pay him early, and then you don't even have to pay Michael Pittman some huge contract the next time he's up. And so it just gives you more space and room and availability because, like, if you get down the stretch and you look at Alec Pierce being a deep ball guy, and if he can develop into more some of that short and intermediate and take over what Michael Pittman Jr. doing, who are you going to choose to pay? Michael Pittman Jr. or Alec Pierce, a guy who can go deep and do some of the stuff that Pittman was doing. So I'm just saying, you pay him now, you get it out of the way, you break that. But yeah, this is why you should be here.
That's all I'm saying, man. And it's just looking at the combination of wide receivers, and all three of them do it differently. Josh Downs out of the slot. You got Alec Pierce doing the deep routes. You got Michael Pittman Jr., who's who's just a stud at catching those contested catches and being able to run
Big
downfield
dude.
afterward. And all three of them have over 800 yards receiving, just off of last season.
And I'm praying AD Mitchell can come through and be
That's
what
another one, dude.
Because if AD Mitchell can become what I think he can be, like I see CeeDee Lamb, bro. I really do. Like
That's gonna be a hot take, brother.
Like if he can develop, like if he can stop making those mistakes where he don't get his feet down and then just catching the ball and stuff like that, it's just like, man, I think he can really be electric. I really like him.
Now, I hate to be also like the kind of negative side here, but I just want to say, like, the weapons we have right now, because we're looking at these receivers, we don't know what AD Mitchell could be, but what he, potentially could be. And then we add in Tyler Warren and we have a strong offensive line. Like, there's just no excuse anymore for the quarterbacks. Like, you have the personnel.
No,
you have
the
protection.
I mean, it's not even an excuse. I mean, we got the weapons that are loaded for this guy or the next one personally.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying as far as the QB controversy goes. It's like, we cannot say they don't have the weapons, 10 weeks from now, if it's not looking great, we can't say, hey, he doesn't have, you know what I mean?
And if you look at it, man, you look at the quarterbacks. There's a lot of plays that were left out on the field by the quarterbacks. So I mean,
exactly.
Or left out on the field from some of the players that aren't studs.
Yeah.
And it's like now that, like they said, you add Warren in there, and I still don't think that adding a guy like that's going to take away from the wide receivers that we do have.
Nope.
It's just going to add to it because you look at what we've left
before.
Yep. This offense really could be dangerous if Shane Steichen can get that ball rolling.
They call him down, get some in rhythm stuff, and then you got easy stuff all over the field, man.
Yep.
Zach said, was Collins developed, or did he finally get a QB to get him the ball in rhythm on time? Well, they really only used him as a deep ball guy, and then he didn't have a quarterback at the time. So it was very similar to the Alec Pierce situation. That's exactly my point. I'm trying to tell you, like, regardless of the matter of fact, the receiver will look a lot better. Like, I just brought up CeeDee Lamb. When Dak played, he had 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns or 13 touchdowns, something like that. When it was Cooper Rush, he had like 700 yards and like 4 touchdowns. I mean, like, your quarterback makes that much difference in the world. So I'm just saying, you got weapons. You want to keep them. You want to have them. Like, we can go back to having the Phillip Rivers receivers. Like, imagine Phillip Rivers with this receiving core right now. Phillip Rivers didn't even have the gun, but I'm telling you right now, if he had this core, people might be calling the Colts a Super Bowl contender.
I mean, and when you look at things like that type of comment, like, was it the QB or was it the player? Does that truly even matter? Because the success speaks for it. The success speaks for itself. Exactly. I mean, a lot of people like to say T.Y. Hilton was overrated, but he was successful.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if it was with Andrew Luck and then he didn't do anything with other quarterbacks. The chemistry was there.
Exactly.
And everybody was rooting for it. So realistic to me, this type of comment, I mean, it's irrelevant. If I have a guy who could potentially be average with an average quarterback, but is stellar with a stellar quarterback,
great.
I'm going to try to keep that guy to be with that quarterback. I'm going to keep that combination.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Matt. It doesn't really matter who's on either side. Make the play.
Yeah, make the play.
You want playmakers, so
you get paid for making plays, man. Yeah,
like, it's as simple as that.
I think that discourse always becomes so loud. It's this is the worst sport for it, man. You can make that argument in basketball. You can make that argument. Yeah, well, basketball is probably the main one because you can have a guy like LeBron, right, take over, right?
The ball a lot.
In football, bro, it is everyone because look at the Bengals, right? Joe Burrow is a top 5, arguably top 3 quarterback in the league, but when his offensive line just falls over, there's nothing he can do, right? Like, it's a team sport. If the offensive line sucks, the quarterback can't do anything. If the quarterback sucks, the wide receiver's not going to catch the ball. If the wide receiver sucks, the quarterback's probably not going to throw it to. Like, everyone has to be together there. So I hate this discourse of like T.Y. Hilton's a great one because, he was overrated. Even if his strongest weapon was he had good chemistry with Andrew Luck, guess what? He led the league in receiving doing that. Like,
the dude didn't he? I don't think he actually reached 10,000 yards. I think he came close, but yeah,
had a great career though. Had a great career. And if his best thing was, the freaking power of friendship with Andrew Luck, fuck it, dude. It works.
Dude, I'll take it because it gave me something to root for.
Just got put in the Ring of Honor at FIU. Shout out to TY.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nathan, hey, you've been at the camps. I see a couple of your comments here. He said we still got to pay Pittman. I want to jump back to this one real quick. But he also said I'll evaluate AR next week in pads and shorts. Looks like he's improved. Looks like he improves actually. But yeah, I don't know about this one, man. I think me personally, so I got other thoughts on this. Matt might disagree because I know he's more of a defensive guy, and we'll see. But I just think that like if you have receivers like A.D. Mitchell and Alec Pierce take off, and then you got another comment here from Jacob Hillenbrand. You got Tyler Warren, and like I said before, I know Tyler Woods is a big if, but there could be a lot of guys that could end up needing to get paid. So I don't know if you would give Pittman that third contract just because of his. I know he thinks he could be a deep ball receiver. I don't really see him as that Vincent Jackson type. So I don't know if they will pay him a third time unless it's like more of a lower end deal. So I don't know if
I think it depends. I think it depends on the time and how much impact he's making.
Yeah.
If he still is making and I mean like an extreme more of an impact than
he's at 21 right now, right?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what his contract is sitting at right now.
He's getting a decent check though. I'll tell you that much.
But I mean, if he's making those impacts, I mean, he's winning games for us. He's that playmaker that gives us those wins. Then I think maybe the conversation has to be had.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where it's very equal across the board, across the wide receivers, or if Josh Downs or AD or AP or Tyler Warren are the guys that are actually making those plays, and Michael Pittman becomes kind of like a Reggie Wayne of 2012 or 2013, then yeah, it's a little different, and I agree on that aspect. But I think right now we can't really make that assumption. We just got to see how it plays out and see what he's doing at that time.
If Pittman's contract was up right now, I'd say pay him. But I don't remember how long he has left, but he's got a little bit left on it. I think the biggest quote unquote threat to Pittman's contract extension is Adonai Mitchell. Like if he steps up and kind of takes that role, then all of a sudden you don't really need to pay Pittman because you have a guy. But as it stands right now, like not only is he's still our wide receiver one, he's also like a leader in that locker room. He's one of the more vocal guys. He kind of brings the locker room together. So those are things that do matter.
Not to mention how clutch he is.
He's
that guy that's making clutch plays.
Like that's the big thing right there. If he can keep that clutch, be that like you said, Reggie Wayne 2012, you keep those chains moving every time, then I would.
Yeah,
I think everyone.
I don't know how defenses haven't figured it out, but that if it's third down or if it's fourth down and we're about to throw the ball, it's going to Pittman. Like
I just think when you're one of those type of guys, like regardless of what you do, like I said, Vincent Jackson. I don't want to say guys like T.O., but you can get Tim Brown, just guys that you don't really think of. Those are the type of guys that you just can't stop them. Brandon Marshall on third down. They're not those like
good
what the fuck was his name? Ravens.
Antoine Bolden.
No, the other one. Smith. What the fuck was his first name?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith when he was with the Ravens.
Yeah, when he was with the Ravens, that dude was damn near unstoppable.
It's just regardless of what their skill set is, you just can't stop them. But I know Trev could probably attest to this a little bit, being more of or a little bit of college guy. That receivers are just coming out crazy these days.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't even overthink a guy who doesn't have if you don't have tremendous speed. Like if you don't do a lot, I mean, I'm not trying to short Pittman because I damn near want to build the guy a statue. He played with a fractured back.
Yeah, come on.
He's a dog. He's a leader. Like I love Pittman. I'm not trying to just out him, but it's like the way receivers are coming out these days. Like I think you should this was an opinion that I had, Matt. I don't know if you would think it was good or not, but I think almost every year you should be thinking of drafting a receiver in the third or fourth round just because that's how crazy they're coming out these days. And you can always find a replacement for somebody that needs to be better or can get better. And I just think that's really a legit thing that most teams should do.
I agree with that, man, because wide receiver is probably one of the most popular positions that people want to play.
And they all want to get paid.
They're so good.
10, 15 years ago, it used to be running back. Now it's wide receiver. Everybody wants to be a wide receiver. And a lot of these kids are good.
Yep.
A lot of these
Pay
kids
them
are
all.
good, and they're easy to develop.
And half of
You
them
know?
play at LSU.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I agree.
I think
That's one
though,
of those positions that's rotational. I mean, we had this conversation with Zach about running back a couple years ago, but where he felt that way about running backs, and now I feel like it's a little harder to find those running backs that are
I agree.
a consistent threat. But when you look at wide receiver, you definitely can find them.
Now,
They're out there.
my only caveat to that is you can find guys that are faster than Pittman. You can find guys that are taller, maybe bigger, so on and so forth, even though he's a big dude. But like the intangibles that he brings, right? The playing through toughness, the leadership. Like I know sometimes these things get overvalued and you talk about, oh, well, he's a great guy, but like Pittman really is that dude. Like he plays through injuries. He's I don't know. You have to take those things into consideration. You can build a mutant in a freaking lab who's going to be, the perfect wide receiver specimen, but he's not going to have the same kind of leadership qualities and the same kind of toughness that Pittman brings to the table. So how much that values, it depends on the person. But to me, I'm keeping that guy in the roster.
Not to mention, to mention, but you didn't mention it, but the amount of times he's been put in a bad position as a wide receiver where, the majority of wide receivers across the league over the last 2 decades would complain about the positions.
Oh, they bitch about
that these quarterbacks
a new quarterback every year.
And well, not even just that, but the throws that are being made in the middle of the field
where Baltimore to help us win the game.
Yeah, where you're about to get
versus the Steelers where he gets his head taken off.
Yeah, where you're about to get laid out and it's coming. Like you're about to get hit. And he takes those hits, bounces off of them and keeps going. This man I've never seen him complain. Even when he got knocked out by Pittsburgh, he didn't complain about, this is what, this was his fault. He put me in that position.
No, he hurt him.
Huh?
He even said dude wasn't trying to hurt him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just a football guy, man. Yeah, I mean, those guys are worth keeping around.
I love Pitt, and that's why I said I'm not trying to out him. I'm just thinking more strategically. If you're a franchise, this thing it's a business. Come down to dollars. Obviously, some players want their money, and they're not going to take any less, and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things that's what I meant by it. Exactly.
Yeah. No, I hear you for sure.
It sets the standard for playing hurt. So I'm not trying to force him out. I'm just thinking about how
it could potentially be a thing when it's time. I hear you.
Especially if guys develop the way they should. Nathan said here, I could tell you the secondary is giving both QBs hell. He'll say that. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, it could be it could be either way. Either the secondary could be really good, or QBs could be pretty mediocre. We'll kind of just see how that goes down the line. But I definitely think this defense has been a lot better. Dave Stewart also said, asked Houston if T.Y. is overrated.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then Zach is saying here, so if our receivers are a dime a dozen,
Zach don't want to pay nobody, man.
That's their prime. Is becoming running back with the spread system.
Zach wants to turn Indy into a college team.
Well, no.
They rotate all the good players. They eventually leave every 3-4 years, and then you get new people.
No, that's kind of the conversation we were just having about, do we pay him or not? But I think there's certain stuff like where all the stuff we just said about Pitt. He's not one of the guys that gives you everything as a wide receiver, but he sets the standard for your locker room for how you want guys to be, how you want them to play for their teammates, how you want them to play for themselves and for the culture for the team. So sometimes you do got to pay certain guys just to set a point. You're upholding your standard. But to that point, I do think receivers, they might be a little bit becoming a dime a dozen if you draft them correctly. Like you could end up being like a Tennessee and drafting a Treylon Burks, who I want to say he broke his collarbone or he hurt his collarbone today. He was supposed to replace AJ Brown in his career. You could be a team that you just find receivers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
I like how you brought up the Tennessee situation, and this is where I'm kind of like with Zach, is that I think we're in a different position than Tennessee was. Tennessee only had AJ Brown. And then they let him go before they even knew if they had anything else. I mean, we're in a position where a couple years down the road, we're most likely going to already know like how much of an impact it's going to be if Michael Pittman Jr. just, if we let him go, if we just let him walk, because we're going to know who's going to already replace him. It's not like we're drafting a guy to replace Michael Pittman Jr.
And
I think I think we got people in-house that can already do it. And then
exactly
realistically, we're just finding another guy to develop.
I think Mitchell is the number one, like, quote unquote threat to that. If he develops into kind of the same player, then suddenly you're looking at, do I pay and keep both of these guys, or is it better to go with the young guy with Mitchell? So I think that's really where that becomes a conversation.
Yep, and Nathan said Wally getting first team reps has been looking good. Yeah, I've loved Wally since we grabbed him. I know he's a bit undersized, but I definitely always thought it was something that could be legit for us. I did not expect him to be on first team and taking over Jalen Jones' spot already. I expected to be more of a competition, but regardless of the matter of fact, Trev had mentioned the other day, if Jalen Jones and Juju Brents are our backups, I think
it's a good spot to be in.
I think we got damn good depth at that point.
Zach here says,
I just want Indy to pay their best players. MPJ has been a stud, so he's been worth every penny. That being said, I'm not sure I want to give MPJ another third contract because he's older. And then
I think that's where the debate is at this point. It's just a matter of where Michael Pittman Jr. is sitting at when it comes to those conversations.
Yeah, is he gonna want to be the guy who's I want to say he's up next year and he'll be 29 or 30, and it's gonna be that conversation of, hey, will you take 2-3 million less? So, this guy AP or AD Mitchell or Josh Downs or whoever can get paid and you can still be on this team. It's going to come down to that most likely. But he also added in there, if Alex steps up like y'all believe, he can be, then definitely pay Alec. If not, move on because deep receivers are a dime a dozen. I completely disagree with that one.
No, 100%. I don't think they're a dime a dozen. I think
receivers maybe as a whole, just because
guys that are this good at the deep.
But that specific archetype, that's not. I don't agree with that. It used to be. I would say from 2000 to 2010, it used to be that way. But nowadays, I don't think it's as.
It's like a specialty role almost.
As known. Yeah. Now it's like you may have maybe one or two guys, and I'm not adding in guys like Justin Jefferson.
No,
Tyreek Hill.
You're talking about like Mike Wallace.
Yes, like there and there's maybe 2 or 3 guys in the NFL that do it like they do.
Exactly, and then those guys,
Justin Jefferson's winning deep routes off of his route running.
Exactly.
Alec Pierce is winning deep routes off of running straight.
Exactly.
No, he's got the footwork though. I mean,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he still can win those routes just by running straight.
His speed can be used as a separator. When you got 20 to 30 catches for almost 1,000 yards,
come on.
If you can develop some type of route tree to separate, I mean, come on, man, that should just be really good. That to that point that Matt said, there's a lot of guys that might be able to run fast, but can you separate? And if you can't separate, can you jump up and make this a 80-20 ball instead of just 50-50?
Yeah, it's not 50-50 with Alec Pierce. It's
exactly.
Like, now, if you send Tyreek Hill on a straight go route, and the defender's playing off, and you throw it to him, that's more like a 20-80 ball.
Yeah, you got to be able to separate at that point.
Yeah.
That's really where the difference is too. That's how you end up where you're out in the depth chart. Because I'm looking at it right now. We got a guy that's fast as hell and Laquan Treadwell on the team, but you don't have that separation. You don't have that same ability and that same route tree that Alec Pierce had. Like that's where that real separate. You can be fast. You can be fast all day.
Look at the difference between look at the difference between T.Y. Hilton from his rookie season to his second year after he worked with Reggie Wayne. I mean, I mean T.Y. Hilton was fast as shit, but he didn't have that separation ability, and then he worked with Reggie Wayne, and next thing you know, that dude's always wide open.
Leading the league, yeah, 100%. Hey, Nathan, if you're at these practices, man, you got to give us a holler. We might need to have you on for a guest spot or something. He seems to have the insider info.
Nathan said, I know they worked out 7 players today. You got any of those names? Trev, check the comment real quick. Oh, wait, I just shut mine off. There we go. Jacob said AD makes it look effortless, speed and route running, just can't seem to catch. I mean, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like if he can put it together, I think dude has some real potential, and it sucks sometimes to always say um, if with a player because there's so many players you can do that with the NFL and stuff like that with the way it goes. But just everything that I thought he could be, I also thought he was number 5 in that receiver class that came out. He just happened to make it to the second round, so really hoping he can put it together, man.
Hey, so they worked out interior defensive line, Josiah Bronson, offensive tackle, Jerron Christian, and interior defensive line, Bruce Hector, interior defensive line, Anthony Latney, offensive tackle, Ricky Lee, offensive tackle, Matt Nelson, and interior defensive line, Josh Tupou.
A lot of trenches. A lot of guys in the
Yeah,
trenches.
that was all trenches.
I don't think I'm familiar with any of those names.
No,
No,
I
me
don't
either.
recognize the name. Not even from college,
Gonna
which
need-
is rare for me.
Gonna need people for camp, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Teresa Willis Johnson said, "Woohoo! I'm glad I found a Colts podcast on a Saturday.
Hey, every Saturday. Every Saturday.
7:15, Central. Yeah.
8:15 Eastern time.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you coming in. We are on here every Saturday, 8:15. So appreciate you coming in. But
You
yeah,
picked a good time too. We're finally getting more consistent. We've all had kind of crazy summers.
You tell me.
yeah. So man, I think those were the only two I can think of as far as contract wise. We got some good competition going on. I believe we had talked about it before the show. So we got left tackle locked up, left guard locked up. Center, we got some competition going on between Tanner Bortolini and our boy Danny Pinter going on there. Right guard competition, depending on how that'll go. It's been Matt Goncalves so far there that should have been playing. Then we got some other guys that be competing for that spot. And then right tackle will obviously be Braden Smith, who's been he had a couple of rest days. And then our big guy, Jalen Travis.
Who I do like. I like that we drafted him.
He'll be playing the right tackle. I look forward to seeing him because he was also another guy I liked alongside Justin Woolley, 2 guys that I really loved as far as rookies go. So I can't wait to see him as well. He's another guy that could be a replacement for Braden Smith. I know Braden Smith took that pay cut to stay and keep playing ball. So we'll kind of see how he develops. You guys had any interest on that? Any of those O-line battles or any comments on there?
No, I saw some things where they put Will Fries in there a couple times, but you're never really going to know what you're going to get out of your offensive line until you start playing games.
Now Will Fries won.
Are you sure?
He's
I thought Matt Taylor said something about Will Fries the other day. Maybe
he said he left to Minnesota.
Oh no, my bad.
Because he went with Kelly as well.
Yep.
I think to me, actually speaking of Kelly, I think to me the most interesting one is at center between Bortolini and Pinter. Obviously, Pinter's the more experienced guy. We were talking about a little bit before the show, just amongst ourselves. Danny Pinter to me is a really good like interior lineman. You can kind of plug and play, and he typically gets the job done. I don't know how I feel about him as a full-time starter for a full season though. And from the times that we saw Bortolini last year, he's got a good push, man. He's got a good little burst to him, especially in the run game. There were a couple of times he just kind of lined up and JT had a smooth lane behind him. So to me, I'm leaning Bortolini on that side. But I think that just comes down to, is he ready for that role, or do you kind of go with the more, veteran experience with Danny Pinter? And I guess that kind of translates to Matt Goncalves, whereas I believe he's set at right guard. Pinter, I could also see filling that role. So kind of between those three and whether or not Pinter takes one of those jobs, I think that's really the main battle there. Everyone else, I feel like, is pretty set in stone.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm with you on Bortolini. I personally do not want to see Danny Pinter starting. Not that I don't like him or don't think he can't play, but I just know the times that we've had him in the past. He can give you a good game or two, maybe 3, but it starts to get real rough if he has to play consistently for long games. So I would love to see Bortolini really pick it up and then really take that over and become that guy to be the starter. Just because I think Danny Pinter is more of a backup who can give us what he has in some stretch cases and what's needed. I want to say last year we started 9 different offensive linemen. So obviously you need those swing guys. You need some guys to be ready to be able to play backup and whatnot. or to step in when somebody needs backup.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love to see Tanner take that over for especially for run purposes. Have him all in the run game along with Goncalves, so I think also could be really good. I'm all in the run game as well. So
Yeah, I'm big on Goncalves, man. I really like that guy.
Yeah, if I could pick my five, it'd be Big Bernie, Q, more Goncalves, and then Braden Smith. Even though I think Drayden Travis might be a better run blocker, I'm not totally sure. He has a little bit more athleticism, but I do think that when Braden Smith is at the top of his game,
he's one of the best in the league.
He's one of the best pass blocking right tackles in the game. So I would definitely love to see him play.
I think right tackle could get interesting just because we saw Braden Smith go down with injury last year. I don't know if Jalen Travis is ready to like step up and be a guy or whatever, but I think that could become a conversation, later in the season if God forbid Braden Smith gets hurt. Jalen Travis is a big motherfucker. I mean, he's huge, man, and what that accounts for as far as everything else, we'll see. But that could become something that's pretty interesting. But obviously, Zach with our residential O-line guy with high praise for Bortolini.
Yeah, major high praise.
Jason Kelce 2.0. Dude's going to be the best center in the league.
I was going to say, because I think our competition is mostly at center and right guard.
I agree.
Right tackle should be pretty locked up as long as Braden is healthy. But it was just more so the fact that I would like to see Travis in there just because I think with him on that offensive line along with Bortolini, you could do some real creative stuff pulling left to right with him and Q. I think you would have three of the more most athletic linemen probably in the league, or some of the most, if you had them three in there. But obviously, Braden is going to be the better guy just to get in there. I do think that's some crazy high praise, though. Jason Kelce 2.0. I mean, obviously, I think it could be legit because if you think about Jason Kelce, he's been in the league for a while. Didn't really lock up that name until after about 2018, 2019. So
a little later in his career, he was always solid, but he kind of,
exactly.
I agree with that.
Exactly. Nobody ever really looked at him the same way. My bad, Jacob, for the chirping. I might need to close my door. I think it's because of the power outage and something's chirping out there.
I think too, like I know I'm kind of being the devil's advocate here. I'm giving Ballard too much credit in one show, but again, you look at the O-line, man, and what I like with the guys that he's brought in for our O-line, not to give him too much praise, but like we have real athletes too. Like these guys are huge. They're obviously big guys, but they're athletic, bro. Obviously Quentin Nelson sets their standard there, but Bortolini, Goncalves, Smith, Jalen Travis, all these guys, like they can move, they can pull block, they can shift around wherever they need to. Like it gives us a lot of options in the run game.
A lot of options for Coach Tony, man.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
We need to make sure we give him a raise. Make sure he's staying in Indy too.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's keep the O-line standard very high. That's winning football.
Nathan, you got your days wrong there, buddy. I got it in my name. We have 43 days, my guy, not 20. I wish football was 20 days away.
We're getting there, though. We're getting there. College football just around the corner, too, man.
Zach said Bort is crazy athletic, just like Kelce. His athletic ability for a lineman is wild. Dude could play tackle simply because he can move his feet. It's not that I disagree with you, Zach. I mean, I totally agree, but giving him Jason Kelce credit that's a lot of praise. There's a lot of praise. But then I get what you're saying. It's similar to what I said about AD with CeeDee Lamb. We just got to be careful about throwing those out there because then somebody on Twitter will be calling us idiots because we this rookie or the second-year player to a Hall of Famer or something like that.
Hey, they did it with JJ McCarthy, so we can give our center a little praise too, all right?
Yeah. Oh, you mean preseason? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about regular season because me personally, I could care less about a preseason.
Yeah, I don't even really watch them.
Well, this one, I mean,
overreact to that too. But I totally hear you. Any football is exciting football, but I was
Talk about Colts fans overreacting when they wanted Chad Kelly to be our starter during the preseason.
Hell yes.
Already, Anthony Richardson goes 1 for 3. Daniel Jones goes 5 for 6, but he throws a pick. And Colts Nation is just in shambles. I can see it already.
Hey, McCarthy looking like Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah, I mean, at
at training camp.
Hey,
But
congrats to the Vikings.
I am pretty.
Congrats to the Vikings winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, good for them, man.
I do get pretty excited for that first preseason game just because you get to see some guys playing, see some starters out there.
Just football again, yeah.
The hype just kind of died down a little bit for me after that because everything becomes kind of rudimentary after that. So now you just, yeah, man. I'm ready for some football. My Stallions didn't do so well in the spring for me. So I'm ready for some. I'm actually really, really, really ready for some college ball too, man.
Right around the corner, bro.
Last year I got really heavy in the college football season, and I'm getting even more into it this year. So I'm ready.
College for me was 10 times easier to watch than the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they have different times.
The time difference.
Yeah.
Oh, you said college was the way.
Yeah, I was able to watch that last year compared to the NFL. Man, the time difference just killed me when it came to the NFL. Just because I had work on Monday, I wasn't trying to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch games.
No, hell no. Yeah.
But when it's college football, I'll wake up and throw a college game on at 4 o'clock in the morning and listen to it as I fall back to sleep.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's gonna be a good one, man. Right around the corner.
It's gonna be interesting to see how we dole out starters with the QB competitions.
Now, I guess that's kind of my question: is does this preseason matter for us in the sense of how it affects the QB battle? How do you guys feel about that?
I think the decision will be made before the first preseason game.
I think what I would do is I would do something like you would have like one starting QB with one reverse role receiver. So whoever's your receiver is going to be, whether that's going to be you would do Pierce and Pierce and Downs together, or AD and Pitt together. They would be with a different quarterback. It wouldn't be Mitchell, or it wouldn't be Pittman, Pierce, and Downs all together along with Tyler Warren. I wouldn't put all the starters with one quarterback because I think that would just really break off what these guys can do. So that's how I would kind of split it up. And then obviously you got to go with offensive linemen. So say if they were saying, hey, starters are only playing 8 snaps today, I'd probably give each quarterback 4. Even if you got to switch it mid-drive, I would literally slice this right down the line.
You got to see both guys, yeah.
Just because me personally, if I want to do this right and I want to call the right guy the starter, I'm giving him a true 50-50 and see how that goes.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
I don't know. I didn't see our names on that relocation list, so I'm not sure, Zach. But I hope not. And I've really been loving Lou Anarumo with his defense, man. I really can't wait to see this defense. I'm excited. I'm excited to see something different. Nathan said, I want to see this team in full paths, but I heard this is a more physical training camp. That's what I was telling Matt the other day. But obviously we want to see them prove it. We want to see them be more physical. We want to see them throughout the season are actually hitting, padding up, and everything, and really being physical and not letting anything happen like what was it, 2022 when dude was doing snow angels next door.
Come on, man.
I want to see a more mean, physical team. I want to start seeing us have the attitude.
Yeah, it's always physical with Pittman out there, man. I heard you remember Zaire was talking about he starts a fight like every year.
Sure.
You gotta have somebody though.
Most definitely. But all right, everybody, we are officially 43 days away from Colts football. Can't wait to see the excitement. Appreciate everybody who came through on every platform. If you came from Twitter to YouTube, appreciate you making that jump. Facebook to YouTube, or if you came through on YouTube, really going out of your way to come spend a little bit of your night with us, damn near 2 hours, man. So really appreciate everybody who came through tonight. Sat through my internet cutting out. Appreciate my guys, Matt and Trev, man. Feel real good to get back. Can't wait till we get to some actual football to discuss and things like that. So appreciate everybody, man. Y'all have a good night. As always,
go Colts.
Second down, he fakes the Taylor, fires over the middle, completes. Pittman